Hello, my name is McKinley, and this is my informative speech on the country of Saudi Arabia. This is my audience. And so I'm going to begin. Saudi Arabia is one of the largest countries in the world. It's the 12th largest. It is a mostly desolate country. There's quite a bit of desert. Their civilization has spanned for several centuries. They collect many cultures due to their location where Africa, Europe, and Asia all meet. We're going to start the speech with the geopolitical background. I'll move on to the cultural aspects and then the social aspects of this culture. And so we'll start with the backdrop of Saudi Arabia. The country is ruled over a king, by a king. It is also divided into what's called 13 governorates, which is each ruled over by a prince, or what's called an emir, who also report to the king. Being a religious monarchy, they do also have a constitution which is based on the Quran, which is extremely conservative. Again, their location where Asia, Africa, and Europe all meet makes it kind of a melting pot, similar to the way America is. Many cultures. About 83% of the people in this country do live in the city. Nomads outside of the city do exist. They're called Bedouins. They have more diverse cultures out there, given the fact that they travel much more from place to place and never really settle. So as I said, the Bedouins do spread most of the cultures. In the city, it's very conservative, and they do stick to their more traditional roots, but outside of there, they have much more larger melting pot. Some of the most common dishes that they have in Saudi Arabia include what's called Asian Bukhari rice. Most of their textiles do come from India, and many accents and dialects are spoken: African, Egyptian, as well as Arabic dialects. And that comes from the wells of memory in National Geographic. The communication style in Saudi Arabia is also very conservative, again, inside the cities. They have a very traditional way that they approach their elders. Titles are very important. It's always done with the utmost respect. They also use a lot of paralanguage in the tone of their voices, as well as their speech and the speed. It is somewhat flowery, alternating tone and speed. Haptics are also really big in Saudi Arabian language. The best example of this would be the way the left hand is viewed. It has religious background, but the left hand is actually viewed as unclean, so it's not used for eating, handshaking, and other social aspects. Outside of the cities, again, the culture is slightly different. Respect is still very big, but it is a little more relaxed. You would show your elders respect, but you can have a more laid-back conversation with them. Outside of the cities, women also have much more rights. In the cities, you'll see that women are dressed wearing very traditional, covered eyes, covered face, covered body. Outside of there, you will see a more traditional Western style of clothing. Women may be wearing jeans. In the communities, women have a much more vocal presence. They're allowed to drive, much more independent, not having that city structure, that more traditional religious structure. And so that is my speech on Saudi Arabia. Their location, as I said, in the melting pot, has made for a very diverse culture.